Bullying has been around as long as the schoolyard. But as it moves from the campus to the cyberspace world, the severity of the issue is alarming.
The house is so quiet now, and that's hard to deal with.
The rights of the bullied and the reality, straight ahead on Equal Time.
From San Jose State University and KTEH, you're watching Equal Time, exploring new issues each week, giving equal time to competing points of view.
Hello from the campus of San Jose State University, and welcome to this edition of Equal Time. I'm your host, journalism professor Bob Rucker. These days, technology plays a major role in young people's lives, but it can also cause untold hurt. Fernanda Lopez reports on the consequences of cyberbullying.
Can you open your eyes so you can talk to Mom?
This is a usual morning for Anne and Amanda Brownell. 18-year-old Amanda lives at this nursing home in San Jose, where she now receives therapy for brain injuries acquired from attempted suicide 2 years ago at Del Mar High School.
When the principal called me, he said, "Are you sitting down?" And I said, "No." "Do I have to be?" And he says, "Yes, you need to sit down." And I'm like, "Okay, what's going on?" And then that's when he said that Amanda tried to hang herself and that the paramedics were taking her to Valley Medical and I needed to get there.
The reason for Amanda's attempt? Cyberbullying. Amanda had been receiving hate messages on her phone from two fellow classmates and former friends. Brownell says she did not know what was happening until she picked her daughter up from school earlier that week.
And that's when she finally admitted that these two girls who were once her friends were bullying her.
Amanda wrote in her goodbye letter that she was sorry it had to end this way and that yes, this was in fact a suicide.
They had their parties together.
Brownell says Amanda was a normal 16-year-old who loved her friends and loved to have fun. She was active in theater and band and even mentioned her high school play in the final letter she would write.
The last person to see her, talk to her, saw her sitting on the floor writing in her journal.
After being found by a classmate, paramedics rushed her to Valley Medical Center, where she laid in critical care.
They're vulnerable, and that creates, some potential for danger.
UC Davis sociology professor Robert Ferris, who recently published a report on bullying, says it's social status.
And what we found is that as kids increase their social status in the school, they get more and more aggressive. But when they get to the very, very top, on average, their aggression levels of aggression begin to decline. And what we think this means is that kids are at least viewing this as a way to kind of gain status.
More than half of young teens admit to having harassed others online.
People are willing to say something rude if they can do it through email or through text messaging or through messaging on Facebook or something like that, that they wouldn't necessarily say in person.
SJSU Internet Communications professor Ted Koopman says the problem goes beyond cyberspace.
It's definitely a problem, but it's not a technology problem. That's why I don't like the term cyberbullying very much. It's a social, cultural problem. Is that acceptable behavior?
Some people are not afraid to go to the police. Sergeant Jason Dwyer of San Jose Police says he takes cyberbullying accusations on a case-by-case basis.
High school student that ends up making a credible threat to another student within the school, that's a crime. And it's actually a misdemeanor in California.
But as cyberbullying continues to be a growing problem, some parents and victims are questioning who is in charge.
The school was not very helpful.
Maria Hunt has personal experience with getting law enforcement involved. She says her 15-year-old son was cyberbullied on an anonymous social media site, but she says she had a hard time getting the school to react.
They pretty much said, there's no signs of imminent danger or signs of bullying, even though the written statements that we gave to the school said things like, they were going to literally kill my son and or cut his arms off or just horrible things.
When we come back, we'll explore how parents, schools, and officials are getting involved with cyberbullying. We'll look at what one victim's mother is doing now.
Together we can make that change happen.
And how the community has come together. When Equal Time returns. Schools and parents are becoming more and more educated about the digital world their children live in. Continuing her report, here's Fernanda Lopez.
What we have to do is change everybody's thoughts and how they...
This is Anne Brownell's life now. She gives speeches at schools, churches, city meetings, and to different groups. She talks about how her daughter Amanda was cyberbullied and at age 16 tried to kill herself. Brownell has even created the Amanda Network.
Last year our focus was just to share her story and to let people know that words hurt. But this year our focus is more on having everybody that I share this story with take the pledge to stop bullying, to stop allowing bullying to happen in their presence, because together we can make that change happen.
Brownell works closely with Maria Hunt, who says her son was also cyberbullied.
And it takes each and every one of us to do that, to make change happen. So that's why I'm going out to any school or any group that invites me to come out. We love you so much.
Brownell says she wishes to tell Amanda's story, even though it brings back the hurt. And that hurt is what many in the community are fighting to prevent. Diana Paradise is in charge of technology programs for Santa Clara Office of Education.
It's been our mission to help people be smart, be accountable, and be safe, so that they can navigate freely in that environment rather than withdrawing from it.
Paradise says schools are beginning to take an active role against cyberbullying.
I really feel that it's something that our schools are more earnestly, honestly addressing. I think there was I think it was all new, and they had no idea it was going to be this dramatic and have such a powerful impact in their schools, and it has.
Paradise says it's the school's duty not just to stop cyberbullying, but to create a culture that teaches youth about respect for one another. She says that schools should take advantage of websites with curriculum that teach ways to be internet safe and promote respect. Project Cornerstone is one of these websites. Ann Eggersman is executive director of the San Jose-based group promoting community resources for youth.
How can we build the emotional literacy of youth so that they are able to recognize and deal with conflict in a healthy way, because conflict is a part of everybody's life, and how can they develop skills that translate not only into the classroom, into the schoolyard, but into their online persona or personality as well.
Volunteers make presentations at schools and give them tools to help the students avoid harassment.
But what we believe is that if we can help them gain the vocabulary and the social competencies that they need at a very early age, then as they enter into the cyber realm, they will carry those values with them.
Holly Lawrence of the Sunnyvale Police Department says law enforcement can also help.
In schools, they have to be aware of what's going on, really kind of keep an eye on the dynamics of the kids, and if that's always, they bring, in Sunnyvale, the schools bring it to our attention, and sometimes we go out and we just have a talk with the kids involved and try to get to the bottom of it before it escalates.
Lawrence says Sunnyvale Police addresses cyberbullying on a case-by-case basis, and that problem goes beyond the schools.
It's really difficult because there's a definite break in that kids are so much more savvy online and digitally than the parents. So for parents, you really need to get out there and you need to create a Facebook account. You need to be friends with your child. You need to know the passwords.
And the parents are getting involved. At least for Anne Brownell, it is her top priority.
My motivation is to help keep other families from going through the hell that we're continuing to go through every day. Not having her at home, not having her be around us, and singing and dancing and telling jokes and making. I need you to wake up and start talking to me so you can help me learn how to sing instead of...
When we come back, we'll sit down with a panel of experts in search of solutions. Stay with us.